oh, we started talking and it was like, oh, you don't want the timer? Fine. Fuck me, I guess.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
My name is Carl Mizell.
And I'm Katie Hurd.
And this is a podcast that cannot stop smiling to be here. Hello. Hello. How is everyone today?
We are, well, I can't speak for other Katie. We're doing great. Katie Hurd, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am so excited to do this with you guys.
We're so excited to have you. Now, for those of you at home who might not know Katie, Katie is I mean, would it be fair to say you're an active book talker?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, how would you describe yourself to the listeners at home vis-a-vis your relationship to smut and specifically this podcast?
So I started really getting into book talk the first time I had COVID a few years ago, and I was stuck in bed for 7 days. I ended up with pneumonia and couldn't function outside of bed. And so I started reading and following book talkers and fell in love with it and gradually got deeper into the spicy book talk side of things and just kind of ran from there. I'm honestly, I was trying to think of how I found you guys the first time, and I honestly cannot remember. It just was luck of the draw, happenstance, and was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. I have to get on the screen.
Well, I don't know if we've ever told you our side of the equation. So if you look at if you go to Spotify for podcasters and you look at our graph before, from February of last year till about September of last year, it was pretty neat. And then we were getting ready to go to a family reunion here nearby in Michigan. And did you see her video first or did I?
You saw it first and you were like, we've been tagged in a video. You need to see it.
Oh, that's
it was
right.
First thing in the morning for me.
Yeah. And we were so touched and so floored by the video that you made where you were just gushing for 2 minutes and change about our podcast. And no one had done that to that point. And that graph, from that point, there was a precipitous increase right around the time that you started talking about us. And it's only continued to go up since. But the biggest jump, it occurs right around the time that you made that very sweet video. So when we started talking about the summer of friendship and wanting to have somebody on the show who'd become a friend through, and it feels weird to say their fandom of the show, but you were the first person that we thought of. And so we are so thrilled and delighted to have you here today. And we're excited. We say your name at the end of every episode now. And so we're going to say it a bunch during the show and then at the end again, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Are we?
Well, yeah, because we don't even know what the name of the book is.
Oh, that's true. Katie's doing the book this week.
I'm so excited.
So do you have anything you would like to add to this exchange?
I am very, very excited to see you in September because you are also
that's right.
the main reason why we are going to be at Sinful Signings. I am sure of it.
I'm so excited to actually see you guys in person. It's going to be so great.
I can't wait. Oh my God. I'm going to hug you so much.
We're wicked tall. We're tall.
I'm short. I'm 5'2". So I'm...
Oh boy.
You're a full foot shorter than us. This is going to be great. But I am very grateful for the opportunity that you have provided to us through Sinful. The fact that we are going to get to interview Bryn Weaver is because you have been such a vocal fan and friend, and I I just love you so much, and I'm so glad you're here. So what story are you telling us?
I love you guys so much, and I'm so excited. Okay, so I am doing Sinful Demands by P.S. Nail, better known to me as Peggy Sue. And she has become a very close author friend of mine. She's going to be at Sinful, and she writes a lot of paranormal stuff. And this is from her Deadly Sins series.
Ooh. All right. Well, let us neither dilly nor dally. Do you have any content warnings for the listeners?
Yes.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
So I actually got permission from Peggy to read some things word for word from the book because
Okay.
it made my life easier. Okay, so I was taking a page from your Katie's book of the tropes, triggers, and titillations.
Okay.
Our content warnings are trigger warnings, explicit language, alcohol consumption, gambling and drug addiction, murder, parent betrayal, coercion, persuasion, sexual assault/rape, all in memories from the past, nothing explicit on page, pregnancy, and adoption. And of course, it contains explicit sexual content that includes unprotected sex, edging, spanking, choking, and dubious consent.
Whoa.
Bro, yes. I knew that she was going to bring the party. Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Well then, let's fucking get after it.
Okay, so I want to let you guys know that this is available on KU.
Oh yeah.
It's 99 cents for the ebook, $6.66 for the paperback. Yes, she did that on purpose. And it is also available in audio. And just a little side note, there is a prequel to this book. This is book 1 in the Deadly Sin series. The prequel is Sinful Discipline, which is also just 99 cents on Amazon. And that features the king and queen of the Abaddon Kingdom, which this kind of sets place there. It's their little backstory, which is fun.
Oh, okay, cool. I love it when authors do that.
So our tropes are lovers to enemies to lovers. There is a demon dom daddy, scent and smells, which I know is Katie's favorite. I have a love-hate relationship with that. And then for titillations, we have a wingspan reference, sex while hanging off of a balcony, mind reading during sex for improvement, spit for lube, and hand necklaces.
Wingspan. You know what they say?
Hanging off of a balcony.
You know what they say about a demon with a big wingspan? Wink.
So you said wingspan, and then you said hanging off of a balcony, and that just makes me think that they're going to do it like bats.
Not quite. That's a different book.
That was her third choice.
I'm sure it exists. And I'll put it on my TBR.
Yeah. Okay, so our book opens with our male main character, Zell. He is a soul collector demon from the kingdom of Abaddon. Think a level above hell. So the deepest level is the Helican kingdom, where like the worst of the worst end up. Abaddon is like a step above.
All right.
So Zell is described as having blue eyes, dark hair, bronze skin with sacred geometric tattoos all over, and he takes souls from Earth to their final realm. So he's chilling at home. He's got his wall of scrolls of all of these people he's made contracts with, right? And one of his scrolls vibrates, and that indicates to him that someone has broken a contract.
That his table is ready.
Zell, party of 4. Your souls are ready.
I never even thought about it like that.
That's because I don't think they even use those anymore.
No, well, I miss going to Fuddruckers.
Oh, I know. No.
Those were the days. Okay.
So the scroll belongs to Raymond Dexter, who is an alcoholic, gambler, asshat of a guy. And he signed a contract with Zell in exchange for paying off all of his debts, all of his loan sharks, all the things. but he broke the contract in some way, shape, or form. It's never really explicitly said, in that he was not supposed to go into a casino, not supposed to do any kind of gambling, anything like that. Obviously, he broke the contract. But the caveat is that when someone signs a contract with Zell, they either have to sign over their soul or sign over the soul of someone they truly love.
Oh, oh no.
Yeah. So he's an asshole, and he signed over the soul of his daughter.
Oh, I mean, I knew it was coming, but that's still some dastardly bullshit.
Yeah, it really is.
Ooh.
It really is. So Zell reviews the contract. He goes to the king and queen of Abaddon, gets permission to leave the realm. He has to have permission to go to Seattle, Washington, to find this person that he's going after, this daughter. So, yeah.
That's another book that takes place in Seattle. It's been happening a lot
It
lately.
is. It's his favorite place. I'm not really sure why, but
And it's always monsters and demons.
It's always monsters and demons. Or it's after the apocalypse, because
Gwen's book.
no, Lust for Tomorrow.
Oh, Lust for Tomorrow. That's right.
Was also just outside of Seattle.
I forgot.
Why? I don't know. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
If we have any listeners in Seattle, let us know what the fuck is going on.
What is it? So this is where we learn how big Zell's wings are. He takes great pride in his wings. He has a 19-foot wingspan. So
That's excessive.
That's a boat.
My first car was like that.
Yeah. Park Ave?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he has to get permission. And the thing about Abaddon Kingdom is if you try to leave without permission from the king or queen and you hit the wall of the realm, all of a sudden your wings just disappear and you fall. You're just like, pew.
Ow, I love. Okay, yes.
So he gets permission. He gets to Seattle, and all he can think about is how disgusting Earth and humans are. He just thinks they're disgusting. He can't stand it.
He's not wrong.
Same.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's facts. He hides his wings and dons what he considers appropriate Earth attire. Is in a tight black t-shirt, dark jeans, and combat boots. But it's 40 degrees out. And he has this like whole Elsa moment of the cold doesn't bother him anyways type thing. Like everyone's freezing in Seattle, but he's wearing a t-shirt and he's fine.
I really hope that he got bad information and he was rocking like Jinkos and a wallet chain.
You know what? If he puts on a Canadian accent, the t-shirt makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's only 48.
Ah, what the fuck you talking about there, bud? It's only it's fucking
Spring.
balmy. It's 40.
Fine.
It's 45, bro.
It's beach weather.
Yeah.
So he finds the bar where we find our female main character, Kavari, who is Azhat's daughter. She works in a bar. We meet her while she is brandishing a bat, threatening people to leave the bar. Kavari is described as 29 years old, well endowed with soft curves, dyed bright red hair, freckles, brown eyes, and Zell says she has a, quote, luscious ass. And when Kavari
I'm listening.
When Kavari lays eyes on Zell, she immediately thinks, oh, he's somebody that would be really fun to go home with. And there's a lot of discussion about Kavari has had a lot of one-night stands since she started bartending, but no one really meets her where she needs to be. She's always left wanting more, but she feels like she could get something out of Zell, so she starts laying it on pretty thick. She's like sticking her boobs out while she's putting her hair up, leaning over the bar all seductively, really, really trying to get his attention. But every time she looks at him to see if he's watching her, he's just looking right at her face, like eye to eye, never caught looking where she wants him to be looking. So then she's kind of like pissed off and offended that she can't.
I hate when I'm trying to do that, and
Yeah, right.
I hate when I'm trying to show off my boobs.
Excuse me.
My boobs are down here.
I'm trying so hard right now. I think it's hilarious that she's trying so very hard to get the sexual attention of a dude who's here to steal her soul.
Right.
She
She
doesn't
has
know it. I
no
just love
clue.
that.
She has no clue. He walked
Hey,
in.
sir.
He walked in like 5 seconds before the bar closed. She's like, "Here's a soda, but I'm gonna like shove my whole body in your face." So she decides, well, if I can't get this guy's attention, if I can't get laid, I at least should get a good tip. So she starts laying on this super big sob story about her upbringing and la 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 la. And she's just trying to like win pity tips, basically. So he starts asking her how she got her name. And so then she spins even more of this emotional woe is me story. But she starts to get this weird sensation in her head. She gets this electrical tingling sensation. And she's like, oh, maybe I'm just hungry. Maybe my sugar's dropping, that kind of thing. And so then she asks him, well, how did you get the name Zell? And he looks at her and goes, same way you did. So she's like, what? Wait a second. So he's calling her on her bullshit. He realizes that she's completely full of crap because he did the little mind tingly thing. He lays dead 20 on the bar and he leaves. So she's completely flabbergasted, like, what the hell's happened? But then the next chapter, Zell is just like killing time around the bar. He's gone through her memories, and this is where we learn that demons can look through the memories of a target 18 and up. They can't go earlier than 18.
Oh, that's so nice of them.
Because anything that
Wow.
happened prior to 18 technically doesn't taint their soul, supposedly.
Oh,
They're innocent.
okay. We're going by the old. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a child until you're 18.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And he can't figure out, based on her memories and how many times she's had gotten, shoot, what am I trying to say? How many times she has not gotten what she's wanted from men. And she's been screwed over so much by men, including her
Oh.
father, which he can see from her memories. Why would she go after him so much? He's trying to figure that out. But he can tell by her smell.
Hmm.
He can tell by her smell that she wants him. So
Guys, get a new
God.
method.
I swear, I am begging for like one demon with a bad knee who just like feels it like the rain.
my knee aches, so I know she wanted me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I can't take the smelling. I can't.
And the problem with all of this is that it doesn't matter, because like, what if you're like, oh, my knee, she wants me, but it's actually like two stools down that's triggering it.
Oh.
Wait, if it's the left knee, if it's a guy, the right knee, if it's a female, it's
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
He's bilegual.
Bilegual.
that was amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
This entire metaphor leaves out so many people.
I know, but it was just fun to say bilegual.
Please,
Panlegual.
Can we say
Well, there you go.
panlegual?
Yes. Yep. Okay. All right. Anyway,
So he smelled her, and he's trying to figure out why she intrigues him, because he talks about how he doesn't usually go for humans. He thinks they're gross, right? So he's like, what is it about her? So he describes her as like angelic mixed with demonic, dirty yet somehow clean, life and death, sun and moon. So she's this dichotomy that he can't quite figure out why.
Lady in the streets, freak in the sheets.
So he goes through all of these kind of really deep thoughts, and then immediately goes to, but you know what? I really just want her to suffocate me with her ass. So he goes from like these very sweet, like pondering thoughts to, I just want her to sit on my face.
But sit on me, mommy. Cannot.
It's all very reminiscent of when I met you.
In my notes, I said apparently it's a very common thing for men to want this.
Yeah. That
Carl just proved it right there.
that right here.
Yeah, my husband does that.
Put that thing right here.
Oh my god. I'm glad it's not just me. Okay, we all share
It's
the
not
burden.
just you.
Oh yeah, Mr.
You're
Katie.
not alone. You're
Mr. Katie.
Okay. So Zels kills time. He's waiting for the bar to close. He gets back to the bar after closing hours. He magics his cell phone to call the bar, all these things. He gets himself back in the bar. Kavari opens the door and he's magicked himself to look half frozen, which is again hysterical because the cold doesn't bother him. And then he goes to the completely other end of thing and he magics like icicles in his beard. And I'm like, okay, it's 40, dude. Like, it's not 20. Which is hysterical because it goes just from one extreme to the other. So Kavari's all
He doesn't understand human
At all.
thermodynamics
At all. So Kavari's like, oh God, you're freezing to death. She brings him inside, makes him some coffee.
But how?
It's like, come on, girl, come on. So, but
I can fix him.
exactly. I can't breathe.
I was trying to drink a beverage, but that happened. Ouch.
Call that a 2-for-1.
He broke both
There
the
you
Katies at
go.
once.
So anyways, Zell's drinking the coffee she made him, and she is just having all of these obscenely dirty thoughts of everything she wants to do with this man. And he's just loving it, right? He's absorbing all of her dirty thoughts. And then she's like, all right, see you later. And he decides to waltz right up to her, grab her around the throat, and see how she responds. Well, she like out of nowhere, because he can hear how much she wants him, and he can hear how extreme her
Okay.
sexual thoughts are. She doesn't know that he can hear that, so he just like plays right into that, right? So he goes up, he slides a hand around her,
Sure.
he melts into it. She is like, oh hell yeah. So he's like, you want this, I know you do. And he says, say yes sir. And that's where we've got our demon dom daddy coming in. And she's a brat, so she says yes. And then he's like, that's not what I told you to say. So then she says, yes, sir. He says, good girl, all the things. And then that's where we've got, the dom sub stuff that comes into play. And then he, of course, smells how turned on she is. And he takes just full advantage of that. So he basically like sits her up, sets her on the bar, and it becomes a very, very good scene of he just eats her out, sitting on the bar. It goes from 0 to 60 very fast.
That is unsanitary.
I was gonna say she has to do all that side work again.
I
She's
know,
in the bar
right?
now. Damn it!
You already did your outs.
You're jumping ahead, Carl.
I'm sorry. This is what I do.
We're all just like, we're in service industry jobs, and we're just like, but you have to clean that later.
I know if you've worked in food service, you understand. Like, no. Anyway, please continue.
Everybody should work in food service. I
Agreed.
So he plants her ass on the bar top, completely devours her. He starts fingering her pussy and ass, all the things. And then he decides to move her down onto his lap. He's sitting on the bar stool. And she spits on his dick, uses that for lube, give him a little handy. And then she's like, hey, we're not doing this without a condom. Convenient. He has magic. He just magics the condom.
Love that for us. Oh, damn.
Like, yeah, you got to do it. And then they proceed to have sex. And this is where the fancy peen comes in.
Ooh.
I'm going to be honest, I wish I had a little bit more. I told Peggy I wanted a little bit more weirdness.
Not weird enough.
Pros. Great sex scenes. Cons. Peen, not that weird.
She knows fully what I read. So he had hidden barbs around the shaft.
Carl's
But
favorite thing.
And they caress and vibrate against her
Yes.
jeans.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Mm-mm. I wish they
But
did.
so he basically, but they're so fun.
I'm delighted by this. It's like
Someti-
Christmas.
Sometimes I'll, like when I'm talking, one of my mustache hairs will poke my lip. I can't imagine a barb, one of my own dick barbs, just walking around, minding my own business, doing dishes, making breakfast for the kids. All of a sudden I freeze, go white as a ghost. Dick barb. It's just stuck.
Oh my
The noise that is coming out of me is unholy right now. Oh my god.
It's the dick barbs.
Stop.
Oh my
Just for
I'm-
that, I'm reading more books with barbs. Just for that.
I'm so sorry. You were talking about dick barbs, Katie. Please continue.
just had this image of like Betty White, but like a peen drawing with a gray hair wig, like a dick
Barb. Oh my god. We need to get more stickers made immediately.
Yeah.
And one of them has to be Dick Barb.
Dick barb, CPA.
Big glasses.
Barb's like, yes, please.
I can't breathe.
Neither can I, but that's the bronchitis.
Okay.
Oh my god. The fact that we're in the middle of a sex scene and we stop for that.
Okay.
It's dick barbs. Anyway, dick barbs, you were saying.
Okay, so all that happens, he continues to use his powers basically to read her thoughts, to manage, push, draw back on the aggressiveness and the intensity of the sex, because she is nervous to tell any partners how much she likes, because she's worried that will be complete turn off and cause a guy to leave. So he actually is able to gauge what she likes by reading her thoughts, which convenient. Kind of sweet that he like takes her into consideration. Yeah. And then she orgasms. He decides he flips her around. She's stomach down on the bar. He goes at her from behind, and that's how they finish. Back to what Carl was saying, she completely freaks out afterwards and bleaches down the bar.
Yes, okay.
Smart.
I hate
And she's like,
I hate to pop
she's
more.
like, people sit here.
People eat here. There's food served here.
Yeah, he ate there too.
Yikes, bikes. Oh my god,
Woo.
Carl. I hate to like pop more holes in this story here, but he had a condom on and then there were barbs. That feels like
That's a fair thought. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he magicked
did
the
he
condom
magic
on.
himself? He magic like a condom that was for his
barb-proof
barb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
I just
Yeah,
hate to think
I
that
mean, he's
her
had
request
the doors
ultimately was not
Yeah.
honored because his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he very much is honoring the protection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Thank
So
Christ.
Love it.
All right.
So he thinks it's hysterical that she's freaking out about cleaning the bar. He then drops the bomb of why he's actually there.
Oh, by the way.
Are you done cleaning up? Okay, I need your soap.
Yeah. Makes sure he bangs her real good. Then says, hey, by the way, your dad's an asshat and signed your soul over to me, so you belong to me now.
But
So
this does mean that he does love you because he can only give it
Right.
away.
it's real. Hits you right in the face. So she's super pissed. She thinks that basically her dad set this guy up, this random guy, to come and like torture her and mind fuck with her, basically. And he keeps telling her all these things that he couldn't know about her without being a demon. And she still makes excuses. You're a stalker. You do this, blah, 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 blah. So he finally loses his shit. He's like, patience is gone, and he pops his wings out. And then she completely loses her shit.
Yeah.
She
fair.
Yeah. So she like tries to turn and run. He like teleports in front of her in front of the door. That's where she basically falls to the floor and sobs. She has several thoughts and he responds to them all out loud, which that's when she realizes that she's thinking. And
Oh.
she's yeah. So that's when she first tells him to stay the hell out of her head. And it's like a recurring theme throughout the book. But Zell actually is like, well, if you want me to stop, I will. But then he's like, why the fuck do I care if she cares if I'm in her head? So he has this like moral, like this,
Oh.
why do I care?
Okay.
So Kavari asks him, so when am I going to hell? He tries to explain the difference between the Abaddon Kingdom and the Helican Kingdom, which I kind of told you guys a little bit about. And he says, yeah, that well, the Helican Kingdom is for really bad people, the murderers, the rapists, that kind of thing. Where the Abaddon Kingdom is just where the soul contract people go. So he names her, this is where the first pet name comes in. He names her Honeybee.
Of course.
Because
Okay.
she's all sweet.
Aw.
And then she pulls his fingers out when she gets really pissed off.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
that so Zell tells Kavari he only has 3 days to teach her how to reap souls for him. So he wants to follow her home. She's like, fuck you. No, you're not coming to my house. And he's like, no, we've got this much time. I got to follow you home.
Okay.
So she considers running away. And I thought this was great. She like beats him to her car and locks the doors as if he could.
Oh, yeah. Yep, exactly. You can teleport, honey.
Yeah. So then she lets him in. She's had this whole thing about I want him, I'm so attracted to him, he gives me what I want sexually, but he's a complete jerk, he's a demon, he's got my soul. Yeah, she's doing this whole inner battle thing. So she like leaves him on the couch, goes to bed. She wakes up the next morning, she's like, I gotta do laundry, I gotta go to work, I gotta do all this crap. He's like, no, I did all that for you.
Yes.
I want a demon that's going to do my laundry and cook my food and pay my bills.
Oh my God.
And give me time off of work.
Please.
That's what he did for her.
Get me a demon who does my chores. I don't need the dicking. I just need the chores.
What?
I don't need the demon to do the chore or to do the dicking part, just the chore part.
I do all of it.
I'm just saying I have chores too.
That's true, you do.
The demon could take care of my chores.
Fair. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Paid time off work. He got her paid time off work. He made breakfast.
He PTO.
Damn.
He got her PTO.
Okay.
PTO. Paid her bills and got her PTO. Not one or the other. He did both.
Marry him. This is capitalism hell. Marry the demon.
I walked away for 30 seconds. Damn. All right.
So he says, I'm going to take you on your first contract run here. He tells her, dress up, put a fancy black dress on, the red bottom heels that she saved for a special occasion. She dresses up. She actually looks in the mirror and thinks about how beautiful she feels, but then gets really pissed at herself because she's like, why am I happy about playing dress up with a demon? Why am I excited about this? So it's that battle that she keeps having.
Because you look pretty. Accept it. Jeez,
you're allowed to look pretty.
You're allowed to feel good about it.
Absolutely. So this is the first time that Kavari learns that the kind of people Zell targets are really people that are just kind of down on their luck, not the worst of the worst. And that's when she starts having a moral issue because she's like, I don't want to go after these people that are just down on their luck. So the first guy that Zell wants her to target is a guy who's just made some really bad financial decisions. He's not told his wife. He's just sitting at the bar, just ruminating about everything. So she goes over, does what Zell tells her to, flirts, get him to talk, and then she's supposed to bring Zell in to do a contract. But instead, she's like, hey, you've told me about your wife. You've told me how much she loves you. You really just need to go home and talk to her. And he says, thanks. And he goes home.
And Zell's like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Zell's like, you just cost me a soul, bitch. So,
but that's so cute. Oh God.
I know. So I love how she brats by not getting him the souls he wants.
Seriously, the most heroic brat behavior. Heroing by bratting.
These people, exactly.
You're like, listen, get in a fucking plane, go to Vegas. It's a smorgasbord of degenerates in Vegas.
Oh my God.
Don't hang around Seattle.
Seriously. Get her an airbrush t-shirt that says God's favorite brat.
Yep.
There you go. I love it. So Zell's pissed. He's like, of course he's going to punish her, but the punishment's sex, which she's not that upset about.
Oh, no.
Oh, dang. So this turns into like a very intense blowjob scene, and it's the first time she's been face to face with his dick. And she's like, oh. But he's hidden the barbs, so she doesn't see the barbs, but she's intimidated by the size and everything. And then Zell says he's thankful that Kavari will bless his cock with her lips. I'm like, what demon is talking about blessings? I'm so confused.
Yeah, so is he, apparently.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
So-
the right kinds of blessings.
I was gonna say, wouldn't that burn him?
You know?
If she's like mumbling Latin
Oh
on
my
his
God.
dick. Dominus Donctus.
Drank holy water ahead of time.
Right?
Oh my God.
Fuck you.
Carl's gonna have to edit so much laughing out.
Oh. How dare you be that funny? Oh my God.
It is so rare. It is so rare.
Oh.
Oh.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. So this is where the balcony scene happens.
Okay.
So he basically, the blowjob finishes, he stands her up, he turns her around, kind of like plants her up against the wall, face against the wall, front against the wall, and kind of props her up and starts eating her from behind. But because of how she's propped, she's worried she's going to fall, and she has these fears, these thoughts of fear of falling, which he can hear. And he says, well, I can put the fear of God into you if you'd like, because this is nothing. So he picks her up, spins her around, and he's eating her from the front with her legs over his shoulders, and her back's propped up against the wall. Well, now she has no fear. She knows the wall's there. She's fine. And he's like, well, fuck. So then he carries her like this out to the balcony. And he basically leans her backwards over the balcony while he's holding her, eating her out, and she's like clinging to his hair for dear life, and he's spanking her like, look up. Dude, like, I'm not gonna look up.
Jesus. Hanging her off a balcony, spanking her, reading her mind.
Safe word. Fucking safe word. I hate heights so much.
We need boundaries.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Horrible.
she did decide that the safe word was balcony.
Oh.
So
So Peggy, add that to the triggers, the height. We'll get Peggy to add that to the triggers. So she finally kind of relaxes enough to look up, and she just sees a sky full of stars. That's when she climaxes. So after she climaxes while looking at the stars, he puts her down, leans her forward over the railing, and fucks her from behind. They both orgasm. It's all wonderful. He's magicked them so that they're invisible, because she kind of freaks out about everyone seeing them on the balcony having sex. Again, he's magic. It's convenient. So then Kavari has the thought she needs to clean up, like every woman does. You got to pee after sex, right? So you don't get a UTI. Zell snaps his fingers, and she's completely clean.
Oh.
Like, doesn't need a shower, right? He's so convenient.
I mean, it's convenient, but also there is a ritual element there.
Yeah.
That you're taking from me.
Yeah. You need time to kind of decompress, kind of just come down off the high. Exactly.
Breathe for a second. Like.
Yeah. Contemplate everything that just happened.
Did I just come on a balcony on the shoulders?
Looking at the stars.
Looking at the stars on the shoulder of a demon. The shoulders of I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Who can read my thoughts, so sex is perfect.
Yeah.
And he's like, thank you.
So they kind of fall into a routine. Basically, for a few months, Zell got permission to kind of come and go from the Abaddon Kingdom as he pleases. He picks out a target, she brats, they have sex, they never get any souls, kind of thing. And she, really I mean, like, just, it's great. Very domestic. Kavari explains to him that she really only, yeah, it's own kind of. She explains she really only wants to go after the horrible people, murderers, rapists, all the really bad guys. And that's when Zell more explains to her fully the difference between the Helican Kingdom and the Abaddon Kingdom. He says that he's a reaper for Abaddon. He can't go after the really, really bad guys. That is up to the harvesters of Helican. So I'm really hoping we hear about more of those during the rest of the series from Peggy. So as he's talking about this, Kavari starts having these thoughts that he's never heard before, where she's like, I'm a murderer. Oop, blueberries. La, la, la. Think about something else. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, what are you talking about? So this has happened a couple times, and she keeps trying to hide her thoughts by immediately thinking of something else. But the whole I'm a murderer comes up like little blips in the radar for him as he's hearing her thoughts.
They're intrusive.
So she decides to... They're intrusive, exactly. So one of these instances, she's trying to prevent him from hearing her thoughts. She like hightails it into the shower. She's trying to think of other things. Zell, he's a demon, so he's an asshole. He breaks the rules and goes in her memories prior to age 18. And this is when all the story comes out. So I'm going to really synopsis this. Long story short, when Kavari, it was like 16 or 17, she was drugged and date raped by a guy that turns out to have been a serial drug date rapist guy. She got pregnant, kept the pregnancy, and then gave the baby up for adoption. Found out that this guy has done this to multiple other people. So she gets together with this other victim. They find the guy, drug him, and kill him. And then she pays her dad to help cover it all up.
Oh, so she's a hero.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm down.
So she's a hero, but in her mind, yeah, exactly. But in her mind, she is a murderer and she deserves to burn in hell. So the problem was, though, because he went past her 18-year memory rule, she ended up getting like really sick. She came out of the shower feeling terrible. She feels horrible. Well, he starts like trying to care for her, but he's like, I'm really sorry that happened. She thinks he's talking about her getting sick. He's really talking about what happened.
No. Oh,
then
God.
he's like, no, I'm really sorry about what, yeah. He's like, no, I'm really sorry what happened to you. She realizes what he's talking about, and she is livid because he figured all this out without consent, all the things.
Yeah. You already feel like garbage because of him.
Yeah.
And now he's re-traumatized you.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, man?
That's it.
Love
yeah,
story.
he went full asshole.
That is why if you're around a demon that can read your mind, you should only think of the Rick Astley tune "Never Gonna Give You Up" at all times. Just Rickroll that son of a bitch for coming.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, change to Mr. Brightside, and if he does not stop and put his hand over his heart,
it's time to go.
Time to go.
That is an inside joke between Katie and I. We think that Mr. Brightside is the white people's national anthem. So
it's kind of true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Kavari is like super pissed. She kicks him out. Like they have this huge fight. He immediately goes to King Avarice and Queen Astrid of the Abaddon Kingdom to break the contract. He accuses Kavari of being so prideful. Basically, Queen Astrid, she's my favorite in the entire series. She calls Zell on his shit. She's like, no, you're too proud to admit that you fell in love with a human.
Ooh.
And yeah. And the best part of this whole conversation is that it takes King Avarice a hot second to catch up to everything.
Yeah.
So Queen Astrid's telling Zell, like, hey, you fell in love. You're too proud to figure it out. And King Avarice is over there, like, the wheels are turning, and she reaches over and pats his arm. She's like, it's okay, sweetie. Just give it a second. And
I love, that's one of my favorite. It's like a mini trope, the inept king. I love it. Oh, so good.
So that's the best part, I feel like. So the 2 weeks has passed. Zell is stewing, trying to figure out how he can get back into Kavari's life. Kavari realizes that she's fallen in love with this asshole demon, despite everything. She's missed him during the 2 weeks since he left. And then he shows up at the bar one night after closing, and he says, "What are you thinking?"
Aww.
She turns around and she sees the bar top covered in lilies, which is her favorite flower. They say that they miss one another, and he gives her a new scroll and encourages her to read it in its entirety because a lot of people don't read the fine print on a demon scroll. And it's proof of their broken contract. And when Kavari gets to the last line, she learns that Zell has given up his ability to hear thoughts, especially of hers, because he wants to convince Kavari to come back to him. And he's like, I can't use your thoughts against you. I can't read your mind. I can't read any thoughts of anyone other than a soul contract person that I'm trying to get into a contract. So it's like sweet, kind of. I don't know.
I find it.
I honestly,
it's sweet, but it's like this weird demon dichotomy thing again.
Honestly, it's a healthy choice for him to be making, and I think that's good.
Fair.
He
fair.
made a choice that would be better for his relationship. That's good, and that's probably all we can ask of him.
Absolutely. He makes a point of telling her that he has been talking with Baharet, who is the king of the Helican kingdom, who agreed to let Zell become a harvester for the Helican kingdom. So only going after the baddest of the bad, while still allowing him to live in his home kingdom of Abaddon. So that gives Kavari the opportunity to help Zell get the real bad guys, which she's really excited about. She thinks that's super sweet.
Yay!
And he
Let's go get some rapists. Yay!
Let's do it. Lord. But yeah, so he gives her this like super sweet, true, loving apology, tells her that he's a better demon because of her. Which is, and then they tell each other they love each other. But Kavari kind of keeps him on edge for a second. He tells her he loves her. And then Kavari's like, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to earn my trust back after something like that. And he actually cries like one tear. And then she's like, all right, I forgive you. I love you too.
Oh, okay. She made him show one emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me,
yeah.
show
she's
me.
gonna wring everything. She's gonna wring it out of him.
Yeah, I bet
so he lost the power to read her thoughts, but he got another power for Kavari, and that now they have telepathic powers. They can talk to each other in their minds, but he can't read her thoughts, which is kind of cool. They can communicate that way while they're working on their soul harvesting.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like the old Nextel.
Yeah,
it's like the old Nextel 2 ways.
Just
give him a little chirp. Let him know you're. Hey. Yep. But with your brain.
It is sweet.
So it is cute. It's very sweet. It's very sweet for a demon, for sure. In the last chapter, they're at a bar together. They find a target, and this dude's just scum. Children are involved. It's just not great. But she goes over, she sits down, tries to flirt with the guy. He asks her what she does, and she just straight up tells him, she's like, I collect souls for hell, and you're up. So she gives him two options. Basically, she convinces him that she knows what he does. She gives him two options, like, you can leave your wife and your child behind, do not return, do not pass go, do not go home. You peace out now. Sign the contract. Or you just get Zell over here to rip you apart and send you straight to Helican, like limb from limb. So Zell like poofs out of nowhere, out of his little invisibility shield, I guess. And then they decide, no, he decides he's going to sign the contract, but he didn't read it. And Zell's like, yeah, dude, nope, you're dead. So he looks at Kavari. He's like, do you want to do a... He's like, you belong to me, so I can make the choice to kill you now because you didn't read the fine print. So Zell looks at Kavari and says, do you want a heart attack or a brain aneurysm? And she says, well, he doesn't have a heart. So, and then he just drops dead in the middle of the bar. they disappear. Everyone's screaming, the whole 9 yards. Kavari has made a name for herself as the deceiver of death in Abaddon and Helican kingdoms because she's human. She doesn't have to play by the rules of hell. She can lie. She can deceive into tricking these baddest of the bad people into these contracts and stuff. So that's pretty cool. She gets a lot of empowerment from being able to rid the world of these horrible, horrible people.
Yeah, and good. Fuck them anyway.
Yeah. So that's kind of that's the last chapter of the book, is this like super empowering moment of we are now going after the really bad people. There is an epilogue that takes place 10 years later, and Kavari is talking about her death. So she passed away. She was a week away from her 40th birthday. She was hit by a drunk driver. She was on life support. Father pulled the plug, but Zell was with her the entire time. She could see him. He was with her. And then he takes her soul to King Avarice and Queen Astrid and asks them if she can spend eternity with him. The queen is thrilled to finally meet Kavari because they haven't. And they're like, this bitch is awesome. She's like gotten all these amazing souls for Abaddon and Helican. Yeah. She is. She's like done amazing. She has reaped over 200 sinful souls since she started working with Zell. Yeah.
Nice.
200 of the baddest of the bad. So the best thing here is all of a sudden you have the King Avarice of Abaddon. Then you've got King Baharet of the Helican kingdom. And then you've got where's his name? King Hariel, which is from the above heaven, quote unquote. And they all come together to fight over Kavari because they all want her. They all think she's amazing. They all want her. It becomes this wingspan measuring contest. Literally, all of them put their wings out and are like, but I've got bigger wings. But I've got bigger wings. I need her more because she's amazing.
I love it.
So that's the best. Full circle with the wingspan thing. And then, of course, Queen Astrid, my favorite ever, just shuts them all down. It's like, nope, you guys don't get to choose where she goes. She gets to choose where she goes. And so she chooses Queen Astrid as her person to follow. She's like, I'm going to stay wherever Queen Astrid is. So she's going to stay in the Abaddon kingdom, but she wants to continue to work as a harvester for Helican. And then we bump to 8 years later. Kavari is pregnant with her own little demon baby number 3. It just ends with Kavari thinking about how happy she is because despite all the craziness of her life, she has a husband who adores her no matter what and loves her for who she is. And she's got beautiful children and she is ridding the world of evil. So
what else could you ask for?
I mean, talk about a dream come true.
I mean, I'm almost there.
I'm so close.
I just can't.
I don't have the whole.
You need the wings, Carl.
Of the
wings, true, and I have not enabled my wife to harvest the souls of the scum of the earth. But Jesus Christ, Katie, that was fantastic.
So good.
I'm so glad you guys liked it.
Oh, we had an absolute blast. We were very into it, but what are you into?
Oh, me first.
I mean, I'll go first if you want.
Okay. No, I'll go first. It's fine.
All right.
Okay. I am into My Hero Academia. I am going to be a weeb. I just started getting into anime, and I decided...
No. You've been into anime a long time. You just got into this anime.
This anime, I guess. Yeah, I've been into anime for a while, I guess, but I just don't watch it regularly. How's that?
Yeah, fair.
And I was looking for something to watch, and I was like, I'll give My Hero Academia a try. Why not? Everybody seems to like it. It's enjoyable. It is. It's really enjoyable. I love the stories. I always love the stories. They're beautiful, fantastic, emotional, and then there's like a shit ton of action, and it's like 15-year-olds beating each other up. And every single time I'm just like, this little shit needs to get his ass kicked, and then he does, and I'm like, hooray! It's great.
Yay!
Friendship.
And they learn about friendship and what it means to be a hero. I think. I don't know. Mostly they just get their asses kicked. What about you, Carl? What are you into?
I've been sitting on this one for a while. I am into the work of my friend Matt Emmons.
Oh, yes.
Second at Best Press. I'm wearing his T-shirt tonight. This is a character from one of his comics. Matt is an artist that I got to know when he was still living out in well, he's still out east, but he's relocated. I got to meet him at Heroes Con
Yep.
a few years ago. We became friends, and every comic he's churned out since then, I have purchased and kickstarted. And his most recent one is called The Council of Frogs, which you can purchase even after the Kickstarter. It's a fantasy tale about a frog who's trying to save his family from an evil wizard. It's very much
That sounds adorable.
it's
It does so
an
cute.
adorable fantasy. And I'm very proud of the work that he has done and continues to do. So I will link that in the show notes. So go check out his work. Katie, do you have anything that you're into that you want to share with us?
Oh gosh. I think the biggest thing most recently is this little recording space that I'm
Yes.
trying to create.
This is
I've got the
fancy.
wall, the wall behind the computer has the sound foam
Yep.
so that there's no like rebound and all that. So I have the rest to do. I went to the store and got some cute little decorations to put up there for when I'm ready. And yeah, just learning things, learning the electronic part of it,
Yeah.
the software part of it. That's going to be my biggest hurdle. So
Reach out to me anytime. You can ask me any questions.
thank
But
you.
why are you building this space?
I'm really going to try my hand or my voice, I should say, at audiobook narrating.
You goddamn right you are.
Yes.
Goddamn right, Katie Hurd.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so exciting.
And then you're going to narrate a book.
I've been very encouraged, so I'm hoping.
You should
Fingers
be.
crossed.
You should be, because that is exciting. But yes, seriously, if you have any questions about any of that stuff, consider me a resource.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much.
Anytime. Do you want to tell everybody what we're going to be reading next week?
Yes, next week we are reading what I was supposed to be reading last week, The Spellbroken King by J.A. Keaton. I've already started it, and it is already delightful. It's going to be 2 demons in a row, 2 big demons with broad wingspans in a row for Carl.
Oh. As long as it doesn't.
We know how much you love it.
It's
Oh,
not the
yeah.
wings that I have a problem with. I think we remember it's the dick barbs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Barb.
Oh, Barb. We love her.
God damn it, as do I. And I look forward to hearing that story. But in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We are on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Cheap Smut. If you would like to send us an email, go right ahead, cheapsmutpod@gmail.com. If you go to the show notes and click on our link tree, the top link is a link to this book. It is not an affiliate link. We don't get any money for it. We are just trying to help the author out. If you would like to support us financially, you can do so on Patreon for just $1, like these folks have: Vincent Sultanfuss, Kitsune Inc., Cassie, Cassandra, Brian S., April D. Berry, Leah Legend, Dana Goddard, Stephanie Hawkins, Gemma, Lady Squishy Buns, Tia Esk, Rob Gatika, Angela McNichols, Katie Hurd, Gwendolyn Harper, Seneca O, and Rebecca K. The music that you hear on this and every episode is called Nostalgia by Mackay Beats. You can find it along with thousands of other songs free of charge for you to use at the Free Music Archive, freemusicarchive.org.
It has been an absolute pleasure having you here today, Katie. Thank you so much. I can't wait to listen to
Thank
this
you guys so
episode.
much for having me.
I almost peed on my couch. I laughed too hard. So.
Don't let her lie to you. She just did it anyway.
I know. No.
Laughter had nothing to do with it.
Shush. I'm just going to do the outro. Listener, if there is a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she will come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
And we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.